Hi everyone, I just wanted to give you guys an update about some of the future videos that are going to be coming out on the channel in the near future. Now, many of my older subscribers will already know some of these from the last one of these update videos that I put out a few months ago, but as we now have a whole lot of new viewers coming over thanks to that awesome shout out from Caboose XBL, I think an update is called for. And Caboose, if you're watching this, thanks again man, you are awesome. So there's a few things on the agenda here. First is upcoming videos mixed with a bit of news from the channel and a couple of shout outs towards the end of the video. So if you want to skip forward, you can just click on the annotations here at the side or just go to the time code that it says. Now my upload schedule for this channel is generally weekly. I generally have like one sort of shorter video coming out about once a week, with the bigger videos coming out more like once a month on average. Because you know, I always kind of have the bigger stuff that I'm working on in the background while I'm doing like the smaller, shorter videos, and that sort of seems to be the schedule. I mean, I call it a schedule, but really that's just the rate at which I seem to get things done. It's not really a schedule. So first of all, now that I have finally finished the Age of Ultron story, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break from the What It Should Be's just for a while, and I'm gonna pump out some smaller videos on various topics before I get back to the bigger sort of What It Should Be videos. When that time comes, I'll then do a video where you guys can vote on which one you want me to do. In the meantime, there's gonna be 3 new Flame War videos coming up: Ben Kenobi versus Gandalf, Xavier versus Emperor Palpatine, and I was going to do a Superman versus Goku video, but just recently one of you guys linked me a video of the Death Battle version of that, the Death Battle video, those guys, and it's fantastic. Not only do those guys cover everything about their various power levels of each of those characters, but they even have like an animated fight at the end that is way better than anything I could ever animate. So that video is so extensive that there's just nothing I could possibly add to it, so I'm not going to. So instead, I'm just going to put a link in the description box so that you can check that out if you want to. So I'm going to replace that Flame War debate with instead Wolverine versus Lobo. That seems like a really good matchup to me. So those are going to be coming out over the next week or two. And you might recall a while back I did a video with Shipper War called Making Wonder Woman Awesome. I'm actually going to make that into a series where each video is tackling a different topic, and each time I'm talking with a different YouTuber. Sam Gavin from Sam's channel and myself are about to record the next one, which will be Making Remakes Awesome, where we're trying to like crack the code of how to best do a remake. And then after that, Caboose XBL and myself are going to do one on making video game movies awesome, which is a really hard topic because there has never been a video game movie that has really been a big breakout success. I mean, there's been a lot of ones that are just okay, never ones that are really big and like push the genre into like the mainstream. But I'm confident that Caboose and I can crack that code and get at least kind of close. So those are like some of the smaller videos that are going to be coming out soon. But let's talk about the big stuff. Back in my last update video that I did for you guys in January, I think it was, I promised 3 big videos: Man of Steel, The Final Verdict, which is now done; Age of Ultron, What It Should Be, which is now done; and there was one more movie on that list, Prometheus, which I'm going to do as a final verdict video. So it and Man of Steel can sort of form a new category for movies that are kind of like controversial and polarizing for people. And I've been meaning to do a video on Prometheus for quite a long time, but I was worried there for a bit because I left it so long that it kind of wasn't relevant anymore, and then I thought, well, no one will care. But now that they've announced that there is going to be a sequel to Prometheus, then it's going to become relevant again. So now I can do it. And I'm also going to do that video and link it in with like a what Prometheus 2 should be about, which isn't going to be in full story mode like Age of Ultron or Batman vs Superman. It's going to be like an overview one like the Star Wars 7 and Terminator Genesis ones. So the final verdict and the what it should be of those will kind of be linked together. So over the next month or so, that's what I'm going to be working on in the background while I'm doing the smaller videos for you guys. Also, a lot of you guys have been asking for another Age of Ultron video that covers all of the sort of updates to everything post Winter Soldier, all the things I would change. I'm probably not going to do that now. I've already uploaded 7 videos about Age of Ultron, and I don't want to just keep going on about the same thing. And you know, having thought about it, Winter Soldier actually doesn't change that much in the story as I initially thought, because you can just swap S.H.I.E.L.D. for like an independently run Avengers that's funded by Tony Stark, and everything else in the story remains the same. And you could just have that the workers there were handpicked by Captain America and Black Widow from the people in Winter Soldier who took a stand against the Hydra people, so that way they know the workers are loyal. will. I mean, that's pretty much the only change you really need to make. The only other thing would maybe be, you know, the end credit scene in Winter Soldier. Strucker was like leeching the power off Loki's scepter. That sort of seems to imply that he's going to be using its mind control elements to control the twins. And if that's the case, then that would give my version of the story something that I wasn't able to give it, which is something meaningful for Hawkeye to do. Because he has been under the influence of that scepter before, so he could then coach the twins through the effects of that in helping to turn them good. But, I mean, that's pretty much it. So, I mean, I guess I just said it then. So, I don't really think it's necessary to do a whole nother Age of Ultron video just to cover those things. But, you know, having said that, if you guys still want me to do it, I will. Just let me know in the comments. But I don't really think it's necessary, and I'm keen to sort of move on to new topics. And just before we move on to shoutouts, there's only one last thing. A couple of you guys on the Facebook page have suggested for me to do a Q&A video. And since the channel is approaching 3,000 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing, 3,000 subscribers. I can't even imagine a crowd that big. So I was thinking perhaps like a Q&A video would be a good way to sort of celebrate hitting that milestone. So if you guys have got any questions, like what's with the cat avatar that I use, how did I get the channel name, why don't I ever show my face, those are some of the questions that people have asked me in the past, and I just answer them in the comments. But this time I'll answer them in a video. So yeah, either write your questions below of anything you want to know, or on my Facebook or Twitter accounts, because I actually do have a Twitter account now. But I actually prefer Facebook because you're not limited by the amount of characters you can use in a message. But either way, yeah, let me know what questions you would like me to answer in the Q&A video when we hit 3,000, and I shall do my best to answer them. So now, moving on to the shoutouts. Now, I want to get a little bit serious here. I don't know if you're familiar with a channel called Mr. Sunday Movies. If you're not, don't bother searching for his channel here on YouTube, because it's actually been suspended. But Mr. Sunday Movies, he did some amazing and super funny videos, and he was actually the Easter egg in the episode 6 of Age of Ultron, where the newsstand blew up and he got like crushed under the tank. But ever since his channel got suspended, a bunch of us have been tweeting at YouTube to try and bring him back. I actually signed up to YouTube just to do that. And if you guys are on Twitter, please join in as well and try to help out, because it is so unfair what happened to him. If you don't know, what happened was he made a video that was covering all of the Easter eggs in the Winter Soldier, and sort of towards the end of the video, he started saying stuff that wasn't in the movie, but that was obviously a joke, right? Like things like, I don't know, SpongeBob SquarePants is in the movie, and just funny stuff like that. But I guess somebody didn't get the joke because they flagged the video as inappropriate, and as a result of that one person flagging one video as inappropriate, his entire channel got suspended. I don't even know how that's possible. I mean, that's completely ridiculous. Like, doesn't YouTube even check to see if a flagged video truly is inappropriate before they shut a channel down? And it only takes one person to have a whole channel suspended? No, that's surely not. That, with all the trolls out there on YouTube, there's no way they could have set up the system like that. I mean, it has to be some kind of a mistake. But of course, they're not going to fix the mistake unless we hassle them about it. So that's what we've been doing on Twitter. And you know, it especially sucks because he was just about to hit 10,000 subscribers, and then all of it's gone, just wiped overnight. So if you're a fan of his, and even if you're not, please jump on Twitter and tweet at YouTube creators and at YouTube dev. I think that's YouTube developers. Tell them to bring back Mr. Sunday Movies. Be polite, because he wants us to be polite, because we really do need channels like his here on YouTube that are informative and funny and that are generally positive and upbeat. Mr. Sunday Movies. Let's bring him back. Now, the second and final shout out that I have is for a good friend of mine, Mitch, who has a channel called Mitch's Movies. Now, Mitch is a young dude. He's like a teenager. He's still in high school, but he's a very bright, up-and-coming young YouTuber who, a while back, he actually made a video that was a character breakdown of Ultron that he made specifically just to help me with the Age of Ultron episode. And he was kind of like my consultant over the course of writing those episodes. Yeah, often I just message him with a question about this or that, and he'd respond with the answer. And a number of elements in that story are a result of his help and his expertise. I was going to give him a shout out at the end of episode 6, but he had just sort of shut down one channel because he wanted to like refine a few things and start a new one. So he kind of didn't have a channel there for a minute for me to plug, but he's back now. He's got a new channel, and his first 2 videos are up. He's got a review of Winter Soldier and a review of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So if you click on the annotation here or on the link in the description box, you can check out his channel because he's a very gifted young man, and and I just really wish that I had started on YouTube when I was his age. I can tell you what. So there you have it, guys. Those are some of the videos that are going to be upcoming over the next couple of months, and I'm really excited to get those out to you guys, especially my Prometheus one. And remember to put your questions below for the Q&A video for when we hit 3,000 subscribers. That will be amazing. And once again, thank you for supporting the channel here, guys. It really means a lot to me. And until next time, I will see you later.